get some of that.
Alright guys, Dylan here, back with more Yakuza 0, next day. Continuing on, I guess we can actually upgrade shit, can't we? Oh no, we can't. Well, I mean, I guess we can upgrade that. Okay. Yeah, listening to RJP. Did go home.
Yeah, I mean,
oh yeah, we're taking this guy, right?
Just to make sure that with the short staff that everything works, and also like you know, be bothered to show the beats. We gotta turn them off, and then turn them back on, and turn them off again. Like, why don't we just leave them off?
Just leave them off for the whole day. Okay. All right.
Press the whole button.
Yeah. So
So, Josh, any
okay, what are we doing
headlines
here?
for you of Tyler that it's been 161 days in the Big Brother house for Tyler. How are you reacting to Tyler's first time being voted out of the house?
You know what? I'll say this about Tyler. As somebody, he is
Did we get it?
critically acclaimed.
How did I get it first try? I mean, this is a lot easier than the one in Yakuza 0.
Great player, Big Brother. And one of the few things I noticed at least is he did come out, especially leaving this week.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
He didn't have much of a fighting chance. You know he was going to be the one to go. It was the smartest decision for anybody's game to take him out. But he still fought. And I really like that. Plus his hair looked fantastic.
Yeah, so since I last recorded, did go to work, came back, and I decided to do something that I've been planning on, that I've been wanting to do for a while now, actually. And that is rebrand my Twitter to make it essentially a Twitter for my YouTube channel. So I did that. Made it the Marine Review. Apparently the @ is only Marine Review because I can't put the Marine Review because it's too long, but whatever. Yeah, made that the actual thing.
Even the day he got put up on the block with the hacker twist.
Yeah, probably that day, not so great.
Will I use it? I don't fucking know. But I might as well like brand it. What's that?
Not to mention the fact that, like, a little bit of revisionist history to say that he really spent all of those 91 days like with Angela. I mean, they were both there.
Yeah.
Does that count? Like, if you take a break, you get to add up the time. You know, I don't know if it counts.
Yeah. Okay. So we got
Yeah,
to
that's
see a little
something.
Tyler's plan and what's gonna happen. They went back and forth. Darren, do you feel like that the show really covered all their bases tonight in terms of seeing Tyler's campaign for the week?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, how much?
It was basically like, hey, don't vote me out. It'll be bad. I mean, it was essentially that. It was a good pitch. He made good points. I don't think he drove them home as much as he needed to. I don't think he had the emotional element that he needed. But that was basically it.
So we saw a lot of the Cody.
Also continuing Kiwami 2 here. We'll continue playing it tomorrow morning as well. The plan for tomorrow during the day is to edit my Australian Outback retrospective, and then also probably start my Dreamcasting Heroes vs. Villains.
And I mentioned this on the update the other day that, you know, at various points through the week, Cody had the epiphany, maybe we should keep Tyler, but Enzo and Nicole were like, nah, I don't know if we should. He was like, nah, you're right, we shouldn't. And then Enzo had the epiphany, maybe we should keep Tyler, and then Cody and Nicole were like, no, we shouldn't. And then Nicole was like, I think we're making a mistake by evicting Tyler, and then Enzo was like, no, we should get rid of him. And so, you know, if things had come together in the right way, like, there were a lot of different things that could have happened to keep Tyler in the game this week, but nothing ever really like came through and broke that barrier.
It's almost the opposite of what people normally say. Normally, you get a lot of lies where people say, oh, you know, I'd be down to keep you, but votes aren't there. We haven't all come together. Kind of a similar situation, except for the votes were there, but just at different times. And the timing never solidified. It wasn't really the people, but it was almost a week where, in some ways, Tyler would have had a better chance at staying if he had somehow convinced Cody to put Memphis up and take Christmas off or something, or take him off and put Memphis up, but either way, rather than just keeping him over Christmas, because some of it is the optics of, okay, miss you and Christmas, like who's the bigger threat. It's just have that sort of hanging over your head. And if he was able to convince them to go a different way, that might have helped. But
Yeah, I think after this jury segment today, I'm feeling a lot less confident about Enzo and Nicole.
The giant key, you know?
I do feel like at this point it is Cody, Memphis, and are the top two, like to most likely win the game, and then probably after that Enzo still. But I think he would need to get to the end with Nicole,
and if you just hit Cody,
and even or Christmas.
you just directly hit him, I think you could easily convince Danny that, hey, this was me trying to take a shot at him, not you. Over, hey, Danny.
Who's Yukiko again?
I mean, hey, Cody, I was taking a shot at Danny, not you. And, you know, this is just...
Is that
getting,
the
like, the
detective
effects
woman?
of what happened his week before. You know, doing the triple eviction. And sometimes you just get what you deserve. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard.
The Danny move on the triple eviction was kind of a wasted move because everybody wanted Danny out. He did the house's dirty work, and then ultimately he just became the person who was very disposable after he ended up doing that. Tara, what was the shot he should have taken?
At the very least, it should have been Memphis. Memphis was the more dangerous operator there. If he takes out Memphis, then he gets Christmas all to himself. And now we know now that Cody still probably would have won the following HOH. He still probably would have won the following veto, and he still probably takes out Tyler at that point. So really, the shot should have been Cody. Take out Cody. Other people have better chances to win the following competitions. Cody is really the glue holding everything together.
I can't go in.
The thing is, I don't even know who he could put up, who could have put up in that scenario to take Cody out.
Enzo, yeah.
Enzo, I didn't think of that. Yeah, because I was thinking Nicole initially, which at least if Nicole goes, keeps the person who he just tried to get out from being there and being upset with him. But
with Enzo, he would have had the votes, but he trusted Enzo too much. Even after Enzo screws him on the previous vote, he still trusts Enzo too much. Even after he takes out Danny, he still trusts Enzo too much, as we saw this week when he spilled too much info to Enzo, and it got him evicted.
I think Tyler lost. Losing David originally in double eviction caused him to think he needs to put his trust that he had in someone else, which is why he directly someone to Enzo, not realizing, hey, Enzo is betraying him. He had no choice to really pivot his decision to change his entire game fast enough. So it caused him to be a little luxury, like a little messy and stuff, flying around, and...
Wait, where's the main quest?
I liked in the episode Tyler went to go campaign to Memphis,
right?
and Memphis said, "Well, I'm probably voting you out. You gotta be honest."
That's been Memphis' MO all season long. He's always the first person to tell them that he's
is he like right outside?
He does it while
Oh, he's right fucking there.
You're
Gotcha.
too much of a beast, Tyler. I can't beat you in
Too good.
I'm gonna take you out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, this is right now. Honestly, at a game like this where everybody had played a very similar game strategically, as long as he's not sitting by Cody, I think Memphis has a great strategy of differentiating him from everyone else. He's talked such a straightforward game and got him right there at the end. It's a good
99% tells you the truth.
yeah, except for the two final threes that he hit.
Yeah, this is 1%.
That's the 1%.
Yeah, just 1%. It's like you're looking at percentages like the amount of wealth distribution in the world, right? Like the 1% contains multitudes of information.
Have we seen a player who is as straightforward as Memphis is, just most of the time? And it's straightforward and direct without really coming across. We've had some people, I think, try to play that way in the beginning, but were immediately pegged as being like way too cocky about it. And he's certainly not perfect. Like, people get annoyed with him in the house for being that way, but really, like, walking out the door, you know, looking at the jury segment today, we didn't really hear anyone get super upset with Memphis.
Well, Memphis wasn't mentioned at all.
This style of jury management more in successful Survivor play than on Big Brother play. And the thing about Big Brother is that you will live with that person for a week, and there's a lot of like you don't want to just like be like out and out. Yeah, you don't have my vote. It's sort of like maybe we'll see. I'll see what the House says. Where I do think that people tend to respect it, at least in Survivor, a lot more when it's like, okay, yeah, here's exactly what I'm doing, or I'm voting against you unless you win immunity. And as long as you're not mean-spirited about it, I think that people can respect that.
Yeah, the risk of telling somebody in Big Brother that you're voting them out is that they now use a narrative to sell potential voters to keep you around. And it's hard to do that when you're trying to get as many votes as possible. Like, who are you going after? Well, I don't want to say Memphis because Memphis might be a vote for me. But if Memphis tells you, I'm not voting for you, boom, perfect. Now I have a target. Now I have a storyline that I can sell people. You keep me in this game, I'm going after Memphis. That's beneficial to you for whatever reason. And that's why it's dangerous to be honest with people. However, Memphis has been able to time it right where he waits until he knows that person is going to go home no matter what, basically. And that's what's happened. That he says it. They can say they're targeting Memphis all they want. Then they leave saying they would have targeted Memphis, which is even better for his jury management because it's like, I was going to go after Memphis and you took me out.
It's that combined with, in Big Brother also, even if someone in the house wasn't...
I'm still, like, really struggling with, like, how much I want to put into the community aspect of my channel. It's like, because, like, I've talked about this before, I've thought about doing Twitch streaming, I've thought about doing, like, obviously interacting with people on Twitter and that sort of stuff, but it's like, I don't have time. Like, I really don't have time to really manage it properly, plus I'm also just not the type of person that would manage, like, Twitter properly.
Whatever, and yeah, and that's a good move as the person who's at the top. When you're at a part where you gotta beg to stay, it's easier. Again, it's like Mary said, keep the devil you know over the devil you don't know where it's gonna go.
So, Taryn, we saw a little bit of the Cody and Enzo trying to figure out where Memphis' head is at. They sort of came to the realization that Memphis would take Christmas to the final two. Is that factual?
I mean, as
or
far as
nobody
we
knows.
know. Yeah, I mean, the last time we heard this, like Enzo said, Memphis said in the diary room that he wanted to take Enzo to the final two. He also said to Danny at one point that he'd be worried about taking somebody like Christmas because she's a single mother and she has that sort of like sympathy thing that she can play on, whereas somebody like Enzo, he's done nothing.
Yeah, my PS4 exclusive ranking is about to pass 500 views, so, again, that was my goal for the video, so that's something. Even though,
that he's definitely still taking Enzo, but the last we heard, that was the case, and he still tells Enzo more than he tells
yeah, it is kind of sad though right now that, over the last 2 days, my PS4 ranking is actually my #1 video, which is really indicative of the fact that my channel has really started to stabilize.
Have a conversation with Memphis, and this is how Cody greets Memphis. Hello, Potty. What is that voice? They do this in the house?
I do lots of look, first time Cody played
Party Boy?
under the man named Frankie Grande.
Yeah.
Did a lot of voices, a lot of accents. And I can pick some of those up.
What, is this like a British accent, Mary? Hello, Potty Boy.
No, I mean, the first word was a little British, but then it just kind of got, like, silly. It's just a silly... I mean, it was like with Memphis a few weeks ago with the hello that he did for 1 second.
Yeah, okay.
Live in the chat says it's from the Righteous Gemstones.
Memphis started it. Okay, alright. So Memphis seems like more of a party man. Okay. Okay. There you go. To all you party boys and girls out there. Alright, let's talk about the jury house. Josh, were you excited to see the jury house tonight?
I was so excited to see my girl named Vaughn. She looked great in that blue dress. But I think it was blue. She looked great in there, and I thought she was just giving me so much good energy. I really wish I was getting Devon from like PB-17 though, like, you know, where it was just like attitude every 5 seconds, just like really giving all the dips. But this time she was like really calm. She was happy to be there. She was like, I'm so glad I'm not part of this triple. Absolutely not. That is a hot mess, and I got out before. She was actually happy about that.
Yeah, we had a lot of jury to unpack. We started with Ian and Davon, and Taryn, we found out Ian is not really holding a grudge against Nicole.
Yes, he was like, hey, good game.
And this
is one of the scenarios we talked about where he seems like he's trying to convince Devon like, hey, it's not that big of a deal. And Devon's like, I don't know if I can let go of this. So I'm not sure where Devon ultimately fell there. Although considering where Danny stands on Nicole when she comes in, I'm gonna guess it's not super favorable.
Yeah. Very. I feel like Ian seems like a little lobotomized in the jury house.
I think he was a little bit, maybe being there by yourself can bring you down. When you get to naming the turtles, I think that's definitely sad. He seems happy to see everyone else. He seems to be one of the few people who accepted David and his shot at taking the 10K.
Did I still lose that 100,000?
When Davon
I
showed
did.
up,
What a dick.
and she was like she's like the friend you have when you're in a group of people, usually a group of girls, and you're like going out.
Although, like, to me,
hey,
this is like the most mind-blowing thing to see a Yakuza game that you can go in and out of buildings without a loading screen. Oh, that's like the most riveting fucking thing in gameplay I've seen.
Why would I want to drink?
Oh wait, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I?
Every single
I'm
time
going
he was
right,
on the screen,
kinda.
he mentioned getting drinks, and every time it was more and more drinks.
Yeah, he did say that he would want more drinks. Yeah.
I need a
I
drink.
think that may have contributed toward his overall demeanor.
Absolutely, but
Why wouldn't you make it?
Yeah, I forgot that you can just straight up run away.
They were going to quit the game or quit the jury out. At least they
Fuck, I'm fucked though.
Okay.
I think this was not his season, y'all. Like, this was not about it. This season. So even when he got eliminated, you got no, like, when you have no emotional drive to go for it anyways, once you're out, you're like, well, finally, it's over. Oh, you got me out? Oh, thank God. You know, so, very much that.
Alright, next up, we have Kevin comes in. And Kevin, he's going to explain the neighbor's twist, Mary.
Yeah, like, why even mention that?
He's trying to explain what that was.
Yeah, it's like, so Dr. Will was there. Oh, Dr. Will was there? Yeah, and he told us to be 3 steps ahead. Okay, 3 steps ahead. So I think it's a double eviction. That's my guess. All right. And there was something about a sedated salamander or something like that.
Boy.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So then David comes in, Josh. David's here, and it was a redemption story for David.
Yeah. He's like, I went from first boot to 8th place. You know, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
On the All-Star season.
He comes back next time, Taryn. He can get to 4th place. And after that, get to 2nd place, and finally a win.
There it is. I just love David's attitude. He's so positive. Like on a season where people are just like so overwhelmingly negative, he was always such a bright spot that he was like just so happy to be there. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
We need more people who are happy to be there.
Well, you put 10K in your pocket. You know.
Yeah, that's
you
went a long way.
In their pocket. What are they not to be happy
50,
about?
I thought it was 40.
Well, they get additional. Once they make jury, they get another 13.
Oh, man. Okay.
I know you freaking lying. Oh, yeah, I would have been satisfied too. You know what? Where the drinks at? I will be in. What?
Alright.
What?
So next, we have Danny comes in. And Mary, Danny is the one that has all the information, but also death.
Did someone hold an umbrella over Nicole? Because she was getting some shade from Danny this whole segment.
Yeah.
Like,
So surprised.
I mean, Danny was so upset. For someone who had been BFFing it up with Nicole all season, she was like, that girl does not deserve to be in there over me. I'm upset that Cody chose her over me.
Yeah.
She's not even playing well. Anytime anyone said anything, she was mad at David for taking the 10K because she's like, but you could have, taken out Cody, which could have butterfly affected me being in there somehow, probably.
Fuck.
Yep. Taryn, we know that Danny, that her goal going in, she wanted to be the queen of Big Brother, and I think that she might, while she had her target set on dethroning Janelle, that maybe the prophecy was that a younger queen was going to be coming along to actually be the person to dethrone her.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, that's, she's said, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. But to me, it felt like she was very bitter. She's just taking all of the bitterness she has and directing it into one person, and like everybody else is clean. It's all Nicole's fault. Like, this is very like, blame the infidelity on the person.
Yeah, you blame the mistress, not the husband who cheated. You know.
Yeah. But Mary, I think that this was Danny's game, that she doesn't want Nicole to win, and so she's in the jury house planting more seeds, baby.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of talk about thinking Nicole was just there to be the final girl. And this isn't a horror film. We don't need the final girl, guys. Come on, this is not the goal.
I think the final girl wins. So it's a horror movie.
Yeah. Well, they're watching all of the videos eventually, and here's Danny talking about Nicole.
ほんまでっか。わかりました。
Ooh.
世話になったな。
So subtle. Let's be real. And Kevin's like, yeah, kind of. Yeah, I think so. I love Kevin.
Well, what's also interesting is if you go back and rewatch the Triple Eviction episode, that was probably some of the most,
なんだと。
I don't know if I'm gonna say like good strategy, but like the strategic talk we had heard from Nicole all season about how she was mistrusting Danny and didn't want to eventually come for Danny. And Nicole's not gonna be happy when she sees this, and I think she is being underestimated.
まあ登場回先代の首としちゃ安いかもしれへんけど、わしらにとったら大金や。死んでもらうで。
And Danny doesn't even know about any of that. Any of the stuff Nicole said about. She's just mad at Nicole for existing next to her on the block. I can't imagine what she'll think when she sees all the other stuff.
Yeah. Kevin also had another observation where we saw the psychedelic salamander. This is what Kevin said. Just as the salamander looks like Tyler's brother. I couldn't. Big Brother house for so long. Sounds like Tyler. Looks like Tyler. Now yeah. Okay. Well, take away from the jury house. Anything?
Let's see.
Barrett, jury. Talk to us on the live about how that you didn't know how the jury started out Enzo, but you got a good data point about what the jury is thinking about Enzo.
Yeah, I thought that this might happen with David and like happening is that talking about Tyler and Cody being the best players. Devon came in, she was very positive on Danny leaving. I think Devon came in, kind of talked Ian around to like, oh no, Danny's the best player. Ian tells us Danny's running the game. Then Danny comes in, and it's like, wow, Tyler got Danny out. Tyler must be running the game. And they're about to see Tyler being sent home by Cody. I have a feeling that at this point, with Danny saying Cody's playing the best game, they're probably all going to come around to, wow, look at Cody. That was my main takeaway based on what we saw, and this can be misleading, but it really seems to me like Cody is the front runner to win in the final two, which is not good for anyone else because he's also a front runner to sit in the final two.
Right, but Josh, there was some talk about how, like, okay, that David, what votes did you have? Oh, we thought you had Enzo, and it's like, okay, so that Enzo could have made the big move and voted out Nicole, and even Kevin was like, yeah, what's up with that, Enzo? Why don't you do anything?
I know I suck, yo. I know. I'm with you on this.
Yeah.
It's obvious, though, that they do see Enzo as, like, the underdog. So him being able to survive amongst all of these committee players are really probably going to incentivize that, hey, maybe he has something going on in his head. You know? And that's
He's not doing anything.
God.
Cody.
And the thing is, Tyler's been telling him, like, you need to make your big move, be getting Cody out. And if the jury is over here saying Cody's the number one, Enzo's done nothing, and then Enzo gets Cody out, if that's really what they're thinking, yeah, that's great. Big check in his favor. But Enzo, while Tyler trusted Enzo too much, Enzo trusts Cody too much, and just trusts the fact that he can beat him too much as well.
Yeah, and
このままやったら合流会に遅れとります
Enzo has been telling Cody, and it's been funny on the feeds watching him do this because it's a funny thing to say. He's been telling Cody like, hey yo, you've done nothing with your HOHs, yo. You took out Keisha and Kevin, yo. You gotta take out Tyler to have it on your resume, yo. That's it. And it's a funny thing to say to Cody, but I think it's right. I mean, I think that they are going to give Cody a lot of credit for being the person to take out Tyler, and that's not good for Enzo. And when Tyler is telling Enzo, you can't beat Cody in the end, and Enzo, if say he wins the HOH tonight, and he targets Memphis, he gets Memphis out, he's like, that's my move, yo, I got Memphis out, that's it. They're not going to be impressed. They're going to say, no, Cody, you gotta get Cody out, because Tyler's going to get into that jury and say, I told Enzo, you can't beat Cody, you need to take Cody out, and he's not going to do it. And that's not going to be a good look.
Yeah. Not it.
But he's
not it,
still my hopes and dreams for when
Enzo is?
Yeah, it's just more fun. I don't know, it's funny.
So surprised. This is Enzo, you know, the man who made the broski alive.
Yeah.
Well, man, listen, he's just too friendly. And he's been way too friendly with Cody. To the point where he's like competing, he's like helping him out with shots and things. So when he goes to the end, he can tell, hey, Cody did this.
Ah, fuck.
But I took out Memphis.
What?
Yeah. Too locked in on Cody. Mary,
Oh,
I felt
shit.
how you did about Enzo, but I'm over it.
You just want a move to be made? Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I think that there's just like,
No, I'm ready for a Cody win at this point. I want him to win. I mean, if Cody wins, he's up. There's a debate for him playing the best winning game in the history of Big Brother. And I think he definitely reaches the top player of all time. List. I can't wait to do my fucking top 10 player redo for Big Brother and then fucking make the stupid joke of like how Derek's the better player than Cody because Derek ran a season that he wasn't even on.
Yeah, why not?
You gonna have a cold train right after we find out Danny's poisoning the jury against her?
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna only help her. The more that Danny's plans never work. The more Danny tries to poison the jury against her, it's gonna be that's all she needs.
Anybody who takes a shot at Cody, honestly, I'll be like, okay, you know what? Now I'm seeing. But nobody's gonna be able to.
ですが、
No,
もう
nobody
放
gets
射員に
proud.
入るって伝えちゃいましたし、
Here's why I think
今日から
Danny
すぐ
will
仕
have
事を
some
任されて
influence here
で
because
は給料は放射
I
員の
think
倍
based
を
on
出
what
さ
we
せ
saw that Davon
それ
really
でどう
had a lot of respect for Danny's game coming into the jury. I think that means that she's going to respect
わかりま
what
した。
Danny said
放射
in
員はや
terms
め
of
て、
her
あな
analysis.
たのお
Danny
店で
has so much
働き
more
ます。
information than Davon, and if Davon is with Danny, then Kevin
それ
will
では
also
こ
be
れからよろ
with
しく頼む
Davon and Danny. So that's another, couple of people. David might not join in, but he has a decent relationship
Shit.
with Kevin.
Did not mean to do that. Yeah, accident out there.
ここがさっきの男を引き抜かれた店か。
Kevin, and if Tyler comes in, very pro,
We're still in chapter 4,
Cody,
aren't we?
very anti-Nicole.
It's fucking a long
John
chapter.
said in Off-Feed, the other day, he will not vote for Nicole in the final two unless she makes a big move. Probably take out Cody.
Yeah.
Which means I really feel like there's a lot of momentum in this direction.
Mary, is there any possibility in the universe that we could see Nicole and Christmas pull a Big Brother 4 style June listen and pair up to be the final two of the two women in the house?
I don't even like the comparison of them to June and Allison. That is just so sad for June and Allison. I mean, look, would it be fun? Would it be exciting? Yes.
どう
Turn
か
the
したの
tables
コウちゃん
on Memphis,
こ
Cody,
の
and
方
Enzo.
資料に貼
For
ってあった写真
all
のお顔と
that,
なんか
and
違う
maybe
気
I'm
が
wrong. This is just my humble read.
写
For
真
all
写りが
that
悪い人なんじゃ
Danny
ない
is
の
saying that
もし
Nicole
かしたら
wants to be the
気に
final
してるか
girl.
もしれ
I
ないわ
think
よ
Christmas wants to
あ
be
な
the
た
final
も一
girl.
流
I
の
don't know
キャ
if
バ
that's
嬢
the
を
thing
目指
she
すなら
verbalized
そういうデリ
anyway,
カシー
but
になること
that's
を
more,
軽
I
く口
think
にしちゃダメよ
she's the one who I think would be less
で
likely
も
to
そういう事件じゃ
try
ない
to
く
turn the
らい
tables.
違いますよ
I mean, Nicole, she's done it before. She's done that kind of thing. I can see her wanting to do it. I just don't know if that would happen.
The problem is that all four of the women that made that, like, bombing, blitzing alliance or whatever, they all said that they wanted to be the final woman remaining. Yeah. At one point or another.
人違いだわ
So,
It's just
じゃ
not.
ないですか
I want. If you're gonna be girl power, you should be not just trying to settle for being the final girl. You should be
それ
trying
は
to
すみ
win.
ませんでした
Yes,
And that's
empire
where my
lady.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
me as a girl having power. That's girl power. That's
ここの
girl
オ
power.
ー
What
ナ
do
ー
you
なの
mean?
か
はい
No, no.
申し
Okay.
遅れました
Anyway, but I
私この店
I
本
do
社員のオー
think
ナ
it
ー
would
の
be
ユキと
it
申
would
しま
be
す
entertaining. I
こち
just
らは
don't
う
see
ちの
any
ナンバー
path
ワン
for
の
that
Yakuza
to
That would
work.
be an exciting
どうもこんに
finish.
ちは
Yeah, that would
か
be
ゆきです
Agree.
おお
Okay.
ナン
All
バ
right.
ーワン
Let's get to our
すごいじゃん
speeches here
あ
tonight.
りがとうございます
Christmas
まあで
is
も
up first. Of
ナ
course,
ンバー
it's
ワン
Loyal's
といっても
birthday.
うちには女の子は
Happy
3人
birthday
しかい
to
ないんですけ
Loyal
どね
tonight.
Yes,
yes, yes, yes,
Happy birthday,
ちなみ
Dominic.
にスタッフもオー
Happy
ナー
birthday,
で
Charlie
私
Moonbag.
一人
Yes, yes.
だから
All
最
the
近は
birthdays.
店を回すことができなくて
I should hopefully
ずっ
keep
と
some
営業でき
actually.
ずにいたんです
I do want to
他
see
スタ
one
ッフも
actually.
なかなか見つからなくてよ
On
う
my
やく
child's
探し出せ
second
たのが
birthday.
桐谷さんなんで
Second.
す
Okay.
そ
All
うい
right.
えば桐谷さん来ませんね
I don't know.
もう約
Here's
束の時間は
Christmas
過
is
ぎてるの
opening.
に
Gratitude for
So,
God.
Kirikami to
Happy
you,
birthday,
Otto-nan-da-ga.
Loyal Atticus. You are the light of my
Townこの
life,
店には
and
来ない
I am sorry that I cannot be there with you right now.
さっ
But
きその男がスーツを着た男
Mama's
に
working.
買収されているのを見かけたんだ
Yeah.
給料を倍
It's
出す
also,
から
I feel like at this point they're just brown nosing Julie. They're just trying to get a response from Julie because they
ど
know
うし
they
ます
know what gets a
今日は
response
久
from
々に
Julie
お店
now.
を開けるって
Yes,
結
okay.
構お金かけて宣伝したのにお客さん来ちゃいます
Yeah,
よ
we will have a response from Julie.
まずいわ
Christmas
ね
is something else that was
これで営
weird,
業で
I
きなか
thought.
ったら
She
損
calls
失は
this
莫大
a season of
お
something
店の
that
信
I
用
haven't
もだ
heard
だ下がり
before.
よ
I'm having an amazing time playing with each and every one of
仕
you.
事手
You
伝
guys
って
are
くれる
all
スタッフがもう
individually
一人でもいれ
just
ば
like hitters.
Josh, you guys are hitters.
Hitters, man. Listen, in Christmas eyes, being a hitter is a compliment, you know?
Christmas is a hitter from what I hear.
Yes, she's a
俺
hitter.
はやらないさ
Yeah.
お願いしますよ今日だけはなんとか営業しないとうちのお店はおしまいなんですちゃんと日当としてお給料を出させていただきますので
System that was in zero.
そうは言ってもキャバクラの店長なんてやったことないぜ
大丈夫ですうちは初心者大歓迎的な方向性のお店ですから私たちもいろいろサポートさせていただきますし
だが
お願いします桐生さん今日は久々にうちのお客さんが来てくださる大切な日なんです
Yeah.
楽しみに待っててくれたお
Pipe
客さんたちを
hitters. Wow.
裏切りたくないんです
Hit the pipe. You're in with Christmas.
That sounds like
意味がある
something
ことを承
from.
知の上で
Exhaust pipe.
でも
Yeah, it sounds like something
お
from
願いし
something
ま
new.
すお願いします
Yes. Christmas ends her speech. Julie loved it.
Thank you, Christmas.
今回
And
だ
I
け
love
だ
that
ぞ
you love God. With a name like
いい
Christmas,
ですか
how could you not? I love God
だがさっきも言ったように俺は素人
What
だ
I learned from these
あ
speeches.
んまり期待しな
Julie
いんだ
Chen's
よ
really the
Loves her
worst.
child.
Huh?
Tyler loves Angela. Julie still wants everyone to know
あ
she
りがとう
loves
ござい
God.
ます
This is
ゆ
like
きさん
third week
そ
in a
ろそろ
row.
開店準備をしないとそうね
It's been a weird
Yes.
thing that we've had here in Big Brother 22. Josh, I'm sure through the history of Big Brother, I'm sure many people have thanked God, but this is the first season that Julie also adds
Can we
in.
end this
She
episode?
also loves God.
Okay, that's what I
What can you
thought.
say? Definitely doesn't love this season.
So what, you don't also love Angela?
Yeah.
Did someone tell
Yeah, this
Julie,
is the
like,
exact
Julie,
same
I don't
fucking
think
thing,
you're
isn't it?
letting everyone know that you love God enough. I think you need to
I don't
mention it
want
every
to.
time. Like, I feel like that's what it seems like.
いらっしゃいませお客さん
If you want Julie
It was
to respond to you,
Majima though, right? That we did it with in the original game? Or in the original game, in Yakuza Zero?
よう
Yeah, this is the same fucking system.
she will feel the need to tell. Oh well, I also love God. And oh, you're talking about last season when you lost by what single jury vote in the final two? Yes, yes, I do remember that.
It's so
Yeah.
いらっしゃいませ
Yes. For the second time in a row that Julie ends up touching on somebody else's previous defeat. This was how Julie talked about that with Tyler.
That's what I didn't want to do. I did that last time, so I didn't want to do it this time. The last time you made the final two and you lost by one.
You know, I'm really happy that she mentioned that, actually. Because...
Whatever.
Well, but like, when people get that close and lose, and then examine their game and sort of examine incorrectly the stuff that they did right or wrong, and come back and then do worse, like, you probably would have had better luck trying to play a very similar way, and hoping that this time you just get that one extra vote.
How can I do
mean,
that?
if your way of playing wasn't
I
like
just
pretending to be an undercover something or other, like,
And that was the thing. He was watching all these goodbye messages like, these were my 5 final 3s, these were my 3 final 2s, I had this one called The Wise Guys, this one called The Commission, and Tyler had to be sitting there like, are you kidding me? Like, this is my bread and butter, a bunch of final 2 deals, and I thought I was supposed to not do. They've all been doing this the whole time? I could have been playing with these?
it's almost like there's a podcast where they break down like what you did right and wrong, and like, you know, maybe that would help moving forward. I just think he's probably sitting there also thinking like, haha, but one of you guys is gonna get second place, and because you made all these alliances,
This is what Tyler said when he got the goodbye messages.
We got a lot of people double, triple dipping, I guess.
Double, triple dipping.
You might call them 3 steps ahead.
3 steps ahead.
It was what we call...
We got a lot of people double, triple dipping, I guess.
I mean, Pete Tyler this season was back in like week 1 and 2 when he was making a bunch of sort of final 2
Double,
deals.
triple dipping.
Yeah.
Oh my god, can we just fucking end?
Okay. Tyler,
They haven't mentioned what time it is. It is midnight right now. So I did start this at around 11:30.
They do it anyway, and Tyler ends up getting voted out of the house, which Julie greets him
いけませんよ
with air hug.
お客さん
Air hug from more than 6 feet apart.
Did this girl receive the lot?
Air hug. Air hug a thing, Josh? People doing air hugs?
No, we just say hi. You know, that works too. You know,
You do an air hug with one of those, like, air cannons, you know what I mean?
No, you don't even Yeah, I think you don't want to shoot air at people. Ideally.
air hug.
Yeah.
Can we not swap
Okay.
with them?
How aggressive are your air hugs that you're shooting air at
Can we just run out of time already?
That would be bad. Julie really wants to get to the bottom of was this the right decision for the house? So she's gonna go right to the source, Aaron. Okay. Tell us, Tyler, these people totally screwed up tonight.
Fuck angry. Well, fuck you too.
For
then.
their game, they evicted the right person tonight? Truly. Yes.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Because Tyler was such a big threat, but you know who else is
そ
also
うい
a
った
threat?
行為は
Christmas.
ご遠慮ください
Christmas is good at competition. It is too, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. So did they make the right? Yeah, I think they did.
お
Yeah.
会計です
It is good at competition. Yeah,
You
you're right.
can see, Julie, like, caught herself. She was like, so maybe it wasn't... Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to do this. Yes, it is. It was the best move.
Yeah. Alright, so, Tyler was very good sport throughout the whole thing, right?
Yeah, it's fine. I think he does appreciate the fact that it is a game, and he was kind of checked out a while ago, so...
Yeah, this one did not
お会計ですね
No, and it probably... I'm not just gonna say probably. I think historically in Big Brother, in spite of the 50K,
Yeah.
people who come in 6th, 7th, 8th place, well, I don't know, that 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place,
Yo,
probably feel better than second place a whole lot of
Come on,
times.
this is so
Because he
boring.
was close.
Yeah?
I feel like that sort of like I made it this far and they chose not to vote for me is harder than
Nicole won
I didn't get lucky
HOH.
this time.
What?
I wasn't able to make it that far, but I did well.
If you go out before the final two, you can tell yourself
Okay.
every single day of the week.
Well, then Memphis and Christmas are going up. And they're fucked. Right? Yeah. I mean, there's no real chance Cody goes home unless Ento betrays him, and more than likely he's not going to.
Then, like, no, they didn't like you.
We've already said that David seems to be
Yeah.
the happiest person because he came in with the.
This could be Memphis going home though. But I mean, like, it makes no sense for Cody to do that.
Okay. So we got to see the HOH competition, and Josh, this looked like a HOH competition that did not look like if you're, big lumbering guy with a bad back in Memphis. It doesn't look like this is a competition for you. If you're somebody who did a face plant off a balance beam the other day like Nicole, it doesn't look so hot for her. Not sure if this is Enzo's jam. Is this Halloween-themed HOH a gimme for the woman named after a holiday herself, Christmas? You know what? She said she's picking out.
神崎グループっていう巨大キャバクラ経営企業の会長さんです。私たちに嫌がらせや営業妨害をしているのはこの人なんです。
こういうきちゃん
I didn't think of that. She is gonna go after the last few now.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought Memphis was throwing it. I didn't realize he had a bad back. I just thought about that. That's probably why.
まあそんなところが君の可愛いところだ。
今日は何だろう。
Yeah, what a boring season this is gonna be.
He's not the most balanced person. I don't know if you remember, but during the triple eviction, he was having some trouble staying upright. Memphis, I think, is out of this. I do think Nicole could win. It's just a matter of, like, does she have the endurance to last long enough?
But it is the classic balance of like you can easily just step down too hard one time and all the balls roll up and that opens the door for she doesn't have to be winning the whole time to win.
Yes. Yeah.
So they did play this one. I think the point was slightly different, though. I believe. I think it was like 3 minutes, and they had like only 3 things to film. The last time they did it this way was Big Brother 16, where Frankie won the HOH, and then he put Cody on the block. Cody stayed on the block next to Victoria at the end of the week, and they were going to vote out Victoria over Cody, and then the week reset. And then Caleb won the HOH.
でも、フォーシャインは在籍キャバ嬢の関係で出場資格を満たしてないはず。一体どうして？
いやー、私も元同僚としてフォーシャインがこのまま潰れるのを黙って見てられなかったんですよ。そこで大会本部に掛け合い
This is so boring. Why is this part of the main story? Like, what are we doing here?
I think he will try to
感謝してもらいたい気分ですよ。
He's not going to be like my life is on the line, but I think he'll try to win. I think he wants to take Memphis out. I think similar to like, hey
全
Cody,
国
you
から
need
強豪
Tyler
が集
on
ま
your
るキャバ
resume,
ク
yo.
ラグランプリに
I think he wants
弱小のフォーシャインが
Memphis on
参
his
加して
resume.
も
Yeah.
ボロ負けするのは確実。
This would
大
have
会
been
でそういう
so in
恥をさら
Tyler's
したら
wheelhouse. I mean, this
店の
is
評判や
just
降
like
格は
just
打
Tyler
撃。
on a
ただで
balance
さえ
beam,
経
just
営
like
団
that
の
first
フォーシャ
HOH
イン
you
は
wanted Big Brother
そ
20.
んなことに
Saw
なっ
him
た
back
ら
and forth in
もう
the
生き残
triple
ることはで
eviction,
きないでしょ。
getting back and forth across the win the veto in the second part of the veto competition. Gosh, but Tyler can move on a balance beam. This would have been Tyler's HOH.
まあ、せいぜい頑張ってくださいよ。フォーシャイン。
He doesn't weigh anything, so this
そ
would
れ
have
じ
been
ゃ
easy saw, wouldn't
大
have
会
been
で
going
お
up and
会い
down.
しましょう。
Exactly. He's very, the man has a certain body size that he knows how to work with, and you saw that he's a comp. He was ready to just comp out towards the end. So
But
he was
Christmas is a comp piece too, though, right?
Yeah, comp is a competition. He is too. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
ユキさん、
Yeah.
It's funny, I
大
keep
会本
falling
部に
into
事
this
情を
trap.
伝えて
Like
辞
my
退し
first
た
instinct
方
is
が
like, oh, Tyler would have done really well at this because it's like surfing.
ユキちゃん、
After golf for like bowling.
Yeah, it
Kiwami
was like
Grand Prix.
bowling, right?
で
Yeah.
も
Alright,
このままだと出ようと出まいと会社員はもうすぐ潰れてしまうわ。もちろん勝てる見込みが薄いことは分かってる。でも可能性が少しでもあるなら、たとえ恥をかいてでも私はそれにかけてみたい。戦わないで負けるのは嫌だし、どうせ死ぬなら戦って死にたいじゃない。ユキさん、それに私は信じてるんだ。小さいけれど
Oh my god, can we fucking end this bullshit? What the fuck is this?
そんなお店が負けるわけがないじゃない。
Just be merciful. That's it.
そうですね。やりましょう。
Alright,
よーし、勝負決まればあとは突き進むのみ。ヒルさん、頑張りましょうね。
Christmas is a comp piece too.
Yeah, very themed. She did come in when she first
お
saw
願
Tyler.
い
She's
し
like,
ま
I
すよ。
thought
乗りかかった船じゃないですか。
Yeah.
それにヒルさん才能ありますって。
That's the first thing you want to hear walking out of the game. Man, I thought you had it.
Yeah.
And then she cut him with the whole, you know, one book.
構いませんから。
We didn't sing earlier, I'm making sing now.
無理とな
One
い
book.
ですよ。
It was so close for Tyler.
That's what I didn't want to do. I did that last time, so I didn't want to do it this time.
The last time you made it to Final 2 and you lost by 1 vote, 5-4.
My favorite part about that clip is the laughing at the start of it. It sounds so forced.
Okay. Let's take some questions from the listeners. We had a lot coming into tonight, okay? Let's hear what you all have to say. Do you think that Enzo realized he needs to take out Cody, or does he really believe Cody will take him to the final? That's from Cher Bear.
What are we
Wood.
doing? Like, can we
I
fucking
think Enzo
finish this
believes
shit?
Cody will take him to the
決ま
final.
ったね。ヒル
Yes.
さんも次はちゃんと
And
覚えて一緒
he
にやっ
has
てくだ
been
さい
told
ね。
explicitly, you need to take out Cody. So he knows, it's just whether or not he believes it. And at the moment, I feel inclined to believe he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Tyler, what do you know? I mean, you're only going to be one of the people voting
Hmm.
on the criteria of your choice, and this is what you're choosing to say.
He literally said, nah, yo, he doesn't realize the jury's bitter, yo, that's it.
Yeah. Boy, Cody gets to the final
So
three
answer.
with
Understood.
Enzo and Nicole, wins the final
continue on.
HOH, takes the wrong person and loses to Nicole, plus then Enzo, the rest of Cody's life, has to be like,
Oh, so that opens up a new thing.
I can't believe it. Why did you do this? Why did you took the wrong person, bro?
Again, yo! Again, that's it!
Yeah, they're never gonna be friends after that. Better make the right
And next
decision.
episode continue on. Well, thank you very much.
That'll be delicious. Okay.